Hey, good morning. Um, yeah, I know I don't look like I normally do. I don't have my kumkum on. I have a shirt on. That's because it's cold in the morning, and it's early. It's 6:40, something like that, a.m. A time I would never make a video, but I have time today, and I have a very uh, immediate idea for one because it happened last night. So I'll tell you, I don't put my kumkum on until after I pick the flowers because I go through the trees and it scrapes me everywhere. And then I end up having a big bloody looking patch on my forehead. And I have a shirt on because it's cold. Cold here is different than cold, say, in the US. It's like 68 degrees, but that's really cold here in the morning. So 68 degrees Fahrenheit because they go by Celsius here. Um, and I have to drive the milk in, and I'm waiting on them to finish milking the cows so I can take it in. Yes, that's one of my daily sort of duties, I guess. I take the milk up into the village, like just a 2 or 3 minute drive, and I wait in line and pour the milk in. They give me a thing, piece of paper, measuring how much was there and how much it's worth, how much they're going to pay us for it. Anyway, so I'm waiting. So that's what I'm doing. So one big thing that I wanted to point out, since we're talking about the differences in, say, an Eastern and a Western sort of lifestyle. In the U.S., I'm sure it's similar in many countries in Europe too. I don't know about other countries, but when you have a baby, you teach the baby to go to sleep with the lights off, and you're very quiet around that room, and you close the door so that the baby sleeps because it's very quiet and because there's no light. So that kind of triggers you to go to sleep. And that is part of how we're trained to learn how to sleep. So very often when people come to India to do yoga, especially Mysore, because many people come here to learn Ashtanga yoga from the source where it came from. They have a horrible time sleeping because at night, it's not terribly loud at night here. I live out in the countryside, though, as you can see. The houses over there. It's mostly empty. The village is close, but it's not that far. But it's not that close, and we can hear things from the village at night. But it's just loud. Dogs are barking all night. In the city where people stay for yoga, dogs are barking all night. Your neighbors, if they're arguing, they don't really care about keeping it down because they are not taught how to whisper. I don't believe I have met one Indian who knows how to whisper properly. And I'm generalizing, and I shouldn't do that, but I'm telling you that's my experience. Whispering is not a thing here. So last night, these friends of someone in the family came and were going to do a shoot. And they arrived late, like at 9 p.m. Mostly in our house, we go to bed around 10. Most everybody's in bed around 10 or 11. And they're making all kinds of noises all night, and they're in the room next to me, and they're out of the room next to me, and they're back and forth, and they open and shut the door, and they're shooting off bombs to make something for the video, and I don't know what they're doing, but they were doing it till almost 4 in the morning. And it woke me up quite a few times because, as Indian as I think I am, I was taught how to sleep in America. So I can now sleep through more sounds than I've ever slept through in my life. I still have trouble sleeping through light. The light is hard for me. And in our rooms in this house, the wall doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. So if there's light on in the room next to you, it shines over the wall into your room. Not very bad, but a little bit. If I'm really tired, I can sleep through it. But that took I've been here 4 years, fully 4 years. I've been coming here longer than that, but living here 4 years. It's taken me most of that time to figure that out. So here, the children, when they put them on the bed, they leave the bright light shining in their face. And here, they don't have buffered lights like we have in the US. They have overhead LED lighting, and it's a terribly bright thing to see in your eyes. And they sleep like that. They do try to be, sometimes try to, some parents try to be a little bit quieter around the room the kids are in, but not usually. So the kids can sleep through everything. So I know most adult Indians were raised like this, and most of them can sleep like a dead person all night long through any sound, through any light. You can come in and turn the light on in the room and shake them and they don't wake up. Where, like in my house, if I turned the light on, you would immediately wake up and scream at the person for turning the light on. And if you shook somebody, they would probably sit up and hit you as hard as they could. In my house, where I was raised, I remember feeling that way a few times because my mom did that a couple times because she couldn't get us to wake up. Me and my sister did not like waking up in the mornings. So there's just it's a big difference but here's the thing. Then the children as adults can sleep. They can sleep anywhere. They can lay down on the concrete floor in a hallway with people walking through the hallway and sleep. They have no problem with it. They can lay down on the porch with people coming and going and have no problem sleeping. In the middle of the day, in the evening, whenever, wherever, they can sleep there. And like Americans in general, or a lot of Western people, including Europeans and stuff, can't sleep through that. They just can't do it. And would wake up a lot and be very crabby the next day and be very angry with everyone, not just the people who did it. So there's a lot of juxtaposition between the way things happen here and the way things happen there. Now, because of my being here, thankfully, I shall say, I can now sleep more fully in almost every situation, because anytime I leave India, there's never sounds except in Germany in the middle of the night. A lot of drunkards will smash glass and stuff. Depending on where you are, you can hear that pretty well. But the sound of voices still wakes me up, especially if they're speaking English, because that ignites my brain. The sound of fireworks, which they were shooting off last night, definitely woke me up because they were like bombs going off in my middle of my dream. Yeah, just pointing out some things and the differences in the approach to living. And when you sleep well, you're not so bothered by it. But no, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to keep elaborating. I'll leave it at that, and that's what I got. Okay. Crows, little tiny birds. The whooping birds I love, the Kambuta, are not making any sounds. Those are the most beautiful ones. Right now it's very peaceful here, and I really enjoy that. So, have a great day. Talk to you soon.